Hi, my name is Payal. I am heading resume service operations for Naukri.com for now almost 8 years, and we look after a business revenue of almost over 100 crores. Six Sigma came into the picture when I thought that we were scaling up operations on a very large scale, and we were in fact expanding the team size. We had started with a unit of just about 2 people who used to do about 100 resumes in a month. And when I took over operations, we were looking at a scenario wherein we would have to probably service about 4,500 to 5,000 customer transactions every month. So it needed to put in a lot of processes in place. We started off with very basic data, and typical gut feel scenarios existed. So basis everybody's experiences of what they knew best, a lot of systems and processes and procedures were just there. They were formulated after hit and trial methods and after a lot of customer feedback and research as it happened along the way. but then it gradually became very imperative that a structured approach, rather a data-driven approach, and a lot of data should be collected, wherein we look at facts and figures, and then we kind of look at gaps in the existing processes, look at futuristic improvisations, and launch new products. Everything, which is where I think that Six Sigma fits the glove, fits. I mean everything, every slot perfectly, because my initial interactions when I looked into Six Sigma at the yellow belt level, where I saw simple tools which could have been implemented across the team, wherein everybody could be willingly participating. A lot of process changes were made in the previous training, after the previous training programs that I had attended, including deployment of mistake proofing tools. A couple of NVAs getting reduced because of process changes, and we could see benefits all over. I mean, our CSAT scores improved drastically because customers were really happy. We were able to maintain the norms. We were able to address customer grievances and resolve queries in a more effective manner. There was standardized communication with customers. So a lot of expectations, or rather we kind of enhanced the credibility of Naukri through these simple tools getting deployed at the workplace. Now with the green belt training with me in my bucket, I think a lot of more powerful and effective tools have kind of gotten added to the bouquet, and tools like FMEAs or addressing pain areas, probably in case a norm has to be maintained forever and client expectations need to be met. So a lot of tools in the green belt phase which got covered across the DMAC stages will come in handy, and we can seriously look at deriving a lot of benefits through these programs.
Okay, so how many years it has been since you started with Yellow Belt?
Typically speaking, the story all began in September 2006.
Okay.
When I came for the Yellow Belt training certification program, and that is when the initial introduction happened, and I could immediately relate to how simple and how effective these tools would be, because I exactly knew where I was facing problems. I exactly knew where the pain areas were existing, and even if the whole organization does not follow the Six Sigma culture, but starting from we had to make a start somewhere. So these simple tools, when discussed across the teams, were readily accepted. I mean, simple things like fishbone diagrams or brainstorming, actually helped a lot.
So at one time, some time back, resume services was the highest revenue earner probably within Naukri. So was it at that time, did you really feel that these techniques have been really effective?
Oh yes, of course. In fact, resume development services still happens to be the most highly paid or the revenue earner for the entire bunch of services which we offer to the job seeker, and to remain ahead of competition also, it is very imperative that these tools be used, and because it not only gives us an insight into what are the gaps or what is the customer not liking in the process. It also shows us so many new solutions to so many new avenues which we can actually explore. So it's a new world altogether, which is so effective and so powerful, and it's a pity that we didn't do it before 06.
Yeah, at one time I felt that you are one person who is driving this as the first person in the company. So how have people responded, and how has the acceptance been over this time?
Up the line, there has been no resistance, if I may say so, and there has been an acceptance because Naukri always offers the business unit heads to kind of be very entrepreneurial in their approach. So if you are typically vouching, or if you're typically able to deliver results on a particular concept or an approach, the management is okay with that. And down the line, it was very simple because I did not use any heavy jargon or any. There were no meetings or conferences, but as you said, just the Nike way. I just told them to do a JDI, and it was done. So, with a couple of senior managers, probably my immediate direct reports were told that we're doing a brainstorming session on, and this is the subject of discussion. So then it was more structured, and it had a proper agenda which we were following, and we didn't go haywire. Certain basic rules were set basis the brainstorming norms, etc. So that really helped. And
so was it conscious decision that you did not use heavy jargon, or
yeah, because at that point in time, two factors. A, I didn't want to intimidate the staff by saying that this is something which has always brought in success, and we were doing pretty well. And at the same time, I didn't want to kind of tell them that no, whatever we've been doing is wrong, and we need to look at it with a different perspective. I just wanted to build it in gradually, because otherwise there would have been a lot of resistance from the team itself, which is now a headcount of almost 70 people, and benefits automatically started to show, and they were pulling up the resources on their own. So data was very encouraging. Right, which is the reason why a lot of data could get incorporated into their appraisals, their incentive plans, and that kind of motivated the staff to accept these basic stuff that we did. Then simple things. I mean, they were asked to make visual controls across the floor. So stuff that they would typically miss out during a telephone conversation, or about listening, or about probably just the monosyllables of acknowledging a customer, those were put up all across the floor. So very, very basic things. They were supposed to do it themselves, and the number of times that they would take such initiatives, they would be rewarded. So stuff like that got accepted. Even HR appreciated that to a large extent, because attrition fell. Attrition was drastically controlled in my process. People did not want to leave. Internal job transfers were offered. People still didn't want to leave.
So that means
there was
people
a lot
were
of cohesiveness.
Okay.
Yeah,
they were enjoying because of this improvement activity.
Absolutely.
And going forward, I think you have identified FMEA and probably control charts.
True.
But do you feel that DOE kind of techniques could also have some application?
I am looking at DOE with a more R&D kind of an approach, because Naukri has always been the first to launch a product of its own kind, and keeping that credibility, or keeping that image in mind, we would be able to kind of launch new products probably in the content management business or the knowledge processes that we have already. So DOE could be deployed there, where I could look at future products and do trial implementations, or when I'm probably looking at or evaluating new CRMs, that is when I can actually look at DOE and predict failures and predict faults which should not be impacting my customer at the end of the day.
Right, I think with more advanced CRMs in use,
absolutely,
you have more opportunities for DOE, because you have certain things which you can do it one way or the other
correct
way.
And CRMs actually provide such accurate and wide range of data that which would actually be like the backbone for any Six Sigma initiative as well. So I think they would blend together well and move on.
Okay, so that's it's been great talking to you, Payal.
Thanks, Vicky.
And all the best for your future journey.
Thank you so much.